Thank you. Be a very odd podcast from the viewers' side.
All right, let's see if we're live. Says we're live on YouTube, but still says we're sending data to Twitch, which worries me after what happened earlier with Twitch. We're sending data to Twitch,
Yeah.
which worries me
It always seems
after
to
what
take a little
happened
bit
earlier
longer
with Twitch. We're sending data to Twitch.
Yeah, with Twitch. So I don't know where.
All right, look, YouTube, killing me. How YouTube's not wanting to show me stuff? Is it my internet? Is my internet what's going on right now?
Well, I thought I'd be getting some trouble on this end through Discord. If
That's true. If it was the internet, maybe it's just Google Chrome.
Well, see, I'm wondering how much bandwidth is each taking up. And I think YouTube will go on for Twitch because it's closer to Google than Twitch is.
Right.
And most of the DNS servers, you're probably going through I think YouTube is going for Twitch.
Yeah, we are live on both. I've checked it through Firefox, which is still working fine. Now, unfortunately, all of my tabs for news are on Google Chrome because normally I close everything except for Chrome.
Okay.
So I may have to save all of those and transfer them over real quick, but we'll see. Maybe Chrome will decide it wants to work.
Just getting started, Dark. Glad you are here.
Hello, Dark.
Glad you are here.
Oh, Chrome decided it doesn't want to load anything all of a sudden right at the start of the podcast. Which wonderful. You were ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what's that? I got my notification.
I do have it set to do, but it's specifically just telling me that like YouTube Studios server IP address could not be reached, which makes me think it's something wrong with my internet. But
yeah, it does. You're absolutely right. Sometimes it does. No doubt.
I tried that earlier. I'm going to try it again real quick and we'll see.
Right. Unless for some reason
That's a good point.
his bandwidth has been knocked down and just happens to be given a priority to this, but I don't see why it would.
I'm going to do this now. Is Google Chrome down on Firefox? What Down Detector says.
I don't know how your browser would go down. That'd be weird.
Down Detector says that there are 18 reports as of the last 20 minutes. 58% of which being about the website itself. So maybe it's just like a localized issue. I don't know.
Using Chrome.
There is, however, a comment. We're at the pre-show, so I'm going to use this name and I'll just trim it out later. But there is a comment from a user named Puppy Queen of Gotcha that in all caps says, "Help, I can't even search. Everything is down."
What is going on?
Oh, but hopefully our Google Doc doesn't close because that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you know, it's a pre-show. It's a pre-show. Hi, fine. I'm Trey. It will.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
I need to make a couple of notes on the docket. I don't have everything quite set up right, so I'm gonna have to move stuff around.
All right, I am losing tabs, so I'm gonna move everything over to Firefox. We're gonna let Chrome take a little rest for now.
Hey, Will. Done it. I get there when I get there when I get there.
It's a good time for this to happen during the pre-show. I got plenty of time to drag all these tabs over here now.
Get it set up.
I've never seen this happen before. It's so bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre. Quite like.
This one. Also, like, I know I could make bookmark and like have it all laid out that way, but I always worry that if I do that, then the page won't load or will be gone or something. So I always just have like a million tabs open for news for the week.
And now the pages are gone.
Yeah, they're slowly disappearing before my eyes, and it's kind of frightening.
Huh? Kind of frightening?
Kind of frightening, yeah.
Oh.
Thankfully, the addresses are loading perfectly fine in Firefox. So I swear we're not sponsored by Firefox. It's not an elaborate sponsorship. That would be incredible. This is not that. Almost done.
Okay. We'll get it set. Get it set, sir.
Goodness. Okay.
All right.
I'll have all the tabs that I need. And I'm going to take the docket and your version of the docket and make them a separate window. Way as things start just collapsing over here, it all should still be okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You're on Chrome. I don't understand why it's like it's just Chrome. Firefox is working fine. I don't get it, but it's fine. The important part is that everything's working.
Yes.
Pop out the activity feed so I can see. Well. Okay. Well, now that technical difficulties have always come up in the pre-show, you ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I'm Rungren.
And we got some stuff to talk about. First off, I got to take the ice cream off the board because, it's a new week. You got to be on there all last week.
Yeah.
You got to earn your ice cream again this week.
Take my ice cream away.
But second off, yeah, we do have some good news to talk about, I think. I'm excited for it. First off, though, as always, we start with weeks. If this is your first episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast, we like to talk about ourselves first and foremost. So, Rungren, how's your week been?
All right. It's been all right. So we played Lotro. I got some patch notes for Lotro. I was reading over. There's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I was trying to look at some way to break them down, and I realized most people probably won't care.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm very excited about it. With the delvings, the skirmishes.
I did log in today and get a bunch of class points that I then used to make my lightning even better. And when I tell you that last week my lightning was at like 20% extra damage with a bunch of other little boosts, my lightning was probably at like 60% of its maximum potential last week.
Yeah.
This week my lightning is at about 85% of its maximum potential at my current level. That's very true. So, yeah, no, they gave me like 5 more class trait points, and I just dumped it into lightning. It was great. I got a new tier of lightning damage now that sets people on fire.
It's always handy. Well, I logged in today as well on my main on Rungren. I'm gonna have to do with all my characters, but I'm logging on main to spend my trait points because they reset the trait points because of the new way they're doing them.
Yeah.
Right through that. and I come out a little bit. And now the way that it's set up, because if you're in your trait line, right, and you buy a trait, it costs 1 point.
Yeah.
Now we're getting those points. But if you go outside of your trait line, those cost 2 points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a problem with that. That's fine. But somehow, because of the way they're spending all these single points and having to double up over here, I have 1 class trait point left.
Ah.
There's no way, unless they raise the level cap, for me to get another class trait point.
Yeah.
Now I've already spent
That's
all
annoying.
one in my line, but
That's annoying.
I've got some extra stuff from the other lines, and yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So I'm just sitting there looking at one class trait point, going, I can't do anything with this.
Yeah. They should let you overcharge that 1 point into your main trait line. Like you get one ability that you can just put an extra one on. Sounds good, Will.
Well, it's like they're that spending on that. I mean, it made sense to me, right?
Yeah.
These are kind of skills that you have to work harder on. This is not what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, you need to add one more thing in my main trait line, or figure out how to give me another point.
Yeah.
Or just somehow for me, so I don't keep when I click over there to look at some other stuff and be like, just for my sanity.
I understand.
Just make those balance out to where when it'll go to 0.
I understand.
The points to go to 0.
I do have a question. When I logged in today and reset my trait points, I suddenly had 2 new abilities that weren't like upgrades of my trait line.
Right.
And I don't know where those came from. I suddenly have Master of Fire and Master of Frost, where I can just do like an instant cast ice and fire spell. And I don't know if it's, hey, those are supposed to be from the 3rd trait line.
No, those are I think those will be from a couple of deeds you have, because you're not getting a class trait point for those deeds anymore.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
And you don't get a class trait point for every deed.
Right.
There's some of them that are specialized that you do.
Because all of a sudden those were on my bar now, and I was like, what are these? They're cool. I'm glad to have them, but where did they come from?
Heck yeah. Yeah, I might do it tonight. I kind of want to get on and check out the because I didn't do a lot today. I just got in and spent my points.
Yeah.
They made a lot of changes to the classes, balanced some stuff out. I noticed a lot of buffs. A lot of German localization problems.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's just in what text.
Yeah.
Things. Now this is one thing I'd like to point out. I thought was really cool. So they have there's a few places along the storyline, the main storyline, where like you go, like I'm thinking of this one without trying to spoil too much. There's one I go to, and it's like you need to study the history of what happened at that time.
Yeah.
Go read the book. When you go read the book, it actually transport you. And you can play another character that was in that time. You'll have quests, and you can get deeds and stuff, and go all through that. So what they've done with those, I think it's kind of interesting. If you're doing if you're running your alt, there's a lot of those where it can be like, okay, I'm going to go over and read the book, and you can just kind of skim through the book and skip that part.
Nice.
Now, if you haven't done it yet,
you
probably
shouldn't.
Yeah.
Just real quick, could you bring your volume up? I thought at first it was my hearing, but your levels are a lot lower than mine.
Okay, I'll roll them up there.
Yeah, that's great right there.
Okay. Make sure I speak into the microphone. I'm not sure. I'm reading this because I was trying to figure out what about getting your horse.
Yeah.
After that, how's it going? So it's got something in there about the doing the quest, which is called a little extra mount.
Makes sense.
So I don't know if it's just gonna be because that quest gives you 10 Lotro points.
Yeah.
And the second part of that quest is to go spend those 10 ultra points.
To get writing.
Yeah, to get writing. And which that the quest to do that, to go to the ultra store, to spend those 10 points has always been in there. It's just they're adding extra. You get extra stuff with it. Actually, what was it? You bought the second part of that quest.
Yeah.
From the ultra store. So now you don't do that. You buy a horse.
Makes sense.
You get you a horse.
A
lot of it.
Horse.
There's quite a few things that are for like the delving system and a few extra stuff for people who have purchased at least one level of the shadows before the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the big one, the number one under the notes, because they got a whole bunch of stuff on Monster Quest and everything. The number one under quests and instances was that we're coming up to 10 quests. It's like finally. Even when we were dealing with that, or that. But there's a few different ones, and looking through here, I'm not going to talk about them. Maybe a little bit of spoilers in them that I'm reading, going, okay,
I got you.
Don't have to worry about that at that time if we get there. So some good fixes. This is one of the bigger ones that I've seen as far as patches for the game.
Yeah.
Not including the content, right? Just thinking that there's quite a lot of little just make the game more more user friendly.
Yeah.
And stuff. I want to see how. So we might have some maybe playing around with our UI or stuff.
Right.
I'll do that.
They sent me mail that had like rewards that I didn't get because they didn't exist when I was at those tiers, level wise, and one of them was a crown, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I got those too. Let's say I watched a Flubber, not the old one, the remake with Robin Williams.
Yeah,
in there, and everybody's seen Flubber, but there's something about the two thugs, the two like henchmen, in that for some reason while I was watching it for the 100th time last night, I was like, they were cast really well.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Robin Williams is great, all that. I don't want to take away. These are side characters, but man, I can't picture anybody else playing that part now.
For sure.
What's bad as that? Just giving some love to the side characters, I guess. Is there anything else that happened this week? I don't think so. I want to keep a couple things back, because I got a story to tell you later on because of my corner.
Okay.
I'll go. I spent some time looking up some cool stuff. No, I think about that much covered. I kind of have a boring life. Through that, I got I don't know. I gotta try to get something for Sunday. I don't have anything ready for Sunday. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that.
Yeah,
but no, that's about it.
It's a little bit more of a step for you than it is for me. Of hey, I just need to spend like 30 minutes trying out a game that I haven't played yet. Whereas for you, it's like I gotta actually like write a song, record a video.
Been working with Ip Man. I like a lot of the Ip Man movies.
Those are good movies.
I like them. We haven't. No, we're not. We've got
this week. We finished another disc. We've watched episodes 35, 36, right?
Yes.
So this week we'll watch 37, 38, 39.
Okay.
I think I told just a few more weeks.
The wrong numbers last time. Ugh. Yes. But it wasn't
just your fault. Because also when we went to watch the episodes, we tried to watch the wrong disc.
Yeah. I don't know. I got something in my brain.
We were all off somehow.
Yes. I don't understand, but it was. Yeah, I like that. Man, I'm liking Zeta a lot better. It wasn't bad before. It felt kind of, I don't want to say thrown together.
You said thrown, and all I can think about is a certain character throwing a cripple off of a cliff.
But the story seems a lot more coherent through this part.
Yeah.
Hitman 4, you don't have it finished, but I don't have it. Finish bonus disc for Hitman. Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
Now you're actually gonna watch it. Yeah. It's very I like the Hitman series. That's very some parts real Hollywoodized,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's cool. I like the punching and the fighting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting. Well, Dreyfish, how has your week been, sir?
Well, it's been interesting. So I mentioned my hearing earlier. I had an ear infection in this ear, and that's cleared up. It's great. I can hear out of this ear again. It's not swollen anymore. But I'm now in the pain period of this ear because it went to this ear.
So on the other side.
Am on the pain meds right now if I'm a little hyper. But we'll get through there. After it, man, it's only Appleseed 13. Look, Appleseed's pretty good. My week's been pretty interesting. I worked on that Sisters Kill Team Friday.
Yeah.
And made that mistake that I made on her face. But it's actually looking pretty good now. I just have to go back over it with a new white. The glob of paint is gone. It's back to the gray. I did not use acetone. I used a special solution called Simple Stuff that you just wipe on with a Q-tip. It worked great for the helmet, not so much for everything else, but I trimmed some stuff off with sandpaper and got it pretty close. So it's a little scratched up, but it'll just look like battle damage. And then I'll paint it white and it'll look nice, hopefully. So
it's battle damage, Diggum.
I recorded the process of applying that stuff, so I may make a little short on that.
Nice.
But, then I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade. Trying to beat that for Goaty, trying to get there. I'm about 31 hours in. I'm still on chapter 3. I've been on chapter 3 for the last 20 hours. And it's not because I'm avoiding the story stuff. It's I'm doing all of the side quests. And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Trey, Goaty's coming up. You keep talking about how rushed you are. Normally, you'd be skipping the side quests at this point. And I know, normally I would. But
yeah, but normally it's not Xenoblade.
That's right. And in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the side quests give you new classes that you can equip on your characters. And I met a guy last night, right before I finished the last side quest and started doing story stuff again. I met a guy last night named Ashenpelt Gray.
That's okay.
Who has an eye patch.
Yeah.
And a tattered cloak and a ninja mask, like the half mask, the Hamaki half mask.
Yeah.
And then has like a tattered cape. And he's all in black. And he's got a single shoulder guard. And he's got his twin pistols that turn into laser rifles. And so most of my team has that class on right now. It's actually really hard to play that game with no tanks or healers.
Yeah.
But everybody looks sick.
Wait, yeah.
Look, I am
Gray Pelt.
Ashenpelt Gray.
Pelt Gray. So Ashen, if I told you it was an Ashen Pelt or a Gray Pelt, I'm pretty sure you kind of picture the same thing.
Yeah, probably. I am very straight. But if Ashenpelt Gray showed up and was like, "Hey, we're going out on a date," look, I'm gonna be sitting there across the table talking to him for a little while. That's all I'm saying. It's so cool. Like, there are characters that are just made for me, right? Like there are characters. Metal Gear Solid Snake with an eye patch. Sitting there going, Trey. Like, yeah, I'm there. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. And like Ashenpelt Gray.
Perfect.
Made for me. Love that guy.
I can tell.
So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is pretty great so far. The story is actually like really good. I've been doing the story stuff and it's really good. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think that the music so far has been really good. But you overlevel stuff real quick. And
yeah.
I've overleveled. If you use the overkill in combat, if you overkill anything, you get double XP from it. Which means if you overkill like one of the big tough guys that gives you 300 times XP when you beat them, you get 600 times XP.
Okay.
And once you overlevel stuff enough, then you stop getting class points for fighting stuff.
Okay, so it's got like, if you're way too powerful for you, like you're not getting anything out of this battle, huh?
Yeah, there's no point in fighting them, and they won't attack you when you run by, so that's nice. So I'm going into this next chapter being able to just focus on story stuff, which is pretty good. But I'm really really invested in this world.
I'm sure you are.
But that's not all I've been playing.
Okay.
Because I was running late on the podcast almost today because I've been playing Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've recorded a 1 hour first impressions on that because I expected it to be bad.
All right, and it didn't meet expectations?
It's kind of not bad. It's actually kind of good.
What was the last Sonic game you played before this one?
Sonic Forces, which was absolutely terrible.
So, given your I hope you're not using that as your baseline.
I'm not. No, I played every Sonic game, and I'm the weird guy when it comes to Sonic that goes, "Hey, I love the story in Sonic. I don't love the gameplay in Sonic. Hey, I don't really like the original Sonics that much."
Blasphemy.
I know.
Blasphemy.
I kind of don't like most of the Sonic games that people do like, and I'm that weird guy that really likes Sonic and the Black Knight. I really like Sonic Colors. I really like Shadow the Hedgehog.
For me. I need a button to hit. Blasphemy. Boom.
And like this Sonic game is actually like, so the first couple levels they put you in before you get into the open world, it's not an open world really, but before you get put out into the map, it doesn't control super well. It's not great. It's the way Sonic is made in this game, it's supposed to be for use in an open map, right? And they start you off in a green hill zone. And it's not great because there's barriers, your jump is too high, you can jump over the walls and fall to your death. Your ears. It's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as they let you out into the open world, which again, it's not really an open world, it's a map. There's not like, it's a lot more like Super Mario Odyssey than it is like Legend of Zelda. As soon as they let you out into that map and you have like free roam, all of it feels good. I can boost when I want to, I can double jump, I can spin dash, and the spin dash is not as good as old school spin dashing. I miss that for sure. However, what they added, this Sonic can parry. This Sonic can dash into an attack. This Sonic can get a Phantom Rush mode where if you attack enough times, he's just... This Sonic, once you spend your skill points in the skill tree, you can unlock an ability to launch blades of wind with your kicks. This Sonic is cool, man. This Sonic is juggling enemies. This Sonic is doing hyper combos. This appeals to me specifically. They made this Sonic and went, hey, we're going to put a fighting game system in here just for Trey. It's like, heck yeah. I fought a boss that's supposed to be like a really tough boss, right? I parried one of his attacks, then I got a riposte on him, and then I jumped into the air and air kicked him to death. While he's in his like animation, just shot blades of wind at him until he died.
Sounds like the final trick I've heard before.
You can level up Sonic's stats by finding stuff in the map and bringing it to a specific place.
Yeah.
And it actually levels up quite a bit. So it took 4 hits to take out a regular enemy when I first started playing. Right before the podcast, I had Sonic's strength up to 7. It took 1 hit to take out those enemies.
Okay.
And so like it's progression. the map is full of stuff to do, but it's not all over your map.
Yes. Look, I thought that was unarguable, Dark.
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. I really enjoy just running around that map. Everywhere I go, there's cool stuff to do, cool secrets to find. Unlike in, say, a Breath of the Wild, which is what everybody's comparing this to, right? Where you see a Korok or you see a spot that looks like there's probably a Korok and you do a little puzzle to get it. Instead, when you're running around in Sonic Frontiers, you'll see, hey, there's a group of flowers here in a weird circle. If I run around them real quick using my light ability, rings will pop out.
Yeah.
That's cool. Or, hey, there's like a deal on the ground here that is actually the end point for a race event. If I run around it with my light trail, I'll get a bunch of rings from it for sure. Or I'll get a power-up for sure. Ring around the posy. Didn't even think about that. Oh, that's so true. There are roving...
I think Sonic dies from the Black Death.
Right. There are roving world bosses.
Okay, that's cool.
That can attack you while you're trying to do stuff, and you can try and fight them. Oh, it's ad time. It's a really weird game that doesn't try... How do I word this? It doesn't try to... It's not trying to be anything better than what it is, right? It's not trying to be a big AAA game. That was one of the big things that I was worried about when I first saw that this Sonic was going to be open world, and welcome back, Dark, and it was going to be like really big and huge. Go ahead and retell your joke since they didn't get to hear it.
I don't know what I said. I'm going to keep up with the story.
Ring around the posies.
Oh, I said yes, that Sonic would die. At the end, Sonic dies of the Black Death. Yes.
Yeah. But that was my big worry when this game was first announced, that they were going to shoot for the moon and not make it, right? And instead, it definitely feels like it could have used a little bit more time in the oven. There's some moments where some things don't quite work physically the way I thought they would. But for the most part, it feels like they weren't shooting for big AAA Breath of the Wild, and feels a lot more like they were going, hey, these islands are going to be like individual maps, Mario Odyssey style. They're going to have a bunch of cool stuff you can find, but you don't have to find that stuff if you don't want to. You can just do the virtual worlds and get the currency from those to be able to get the Chaos Emeralds, and you can just move on and have a good time. There's also a lot more story than I thought there was going to be.
That's good.
Like, one of the big things is Sonic trying to find his friends. And I've spent a lot of time just talking to Amy on this first island and giving her a lot more characterization than she's gotten in a Sonic game in ever. She's not just crazy for Sonic and wants to date him. She actually is a person in this game.
That's interesting.
That's
interesting.
That's really cool to me. I like Amy.
Hold on. What's the point in even having her there? Why?
That's the way a lot of people think. But no, when it comes down to it, I'll stop here because I don't want to spoil too much for people. But when it comes down to it, I fought in a cutscene and then got to attack the first major boss, the first like a big boss, and it's nothing like what I expected from a Sonic game, and gave me very big Shadow of the Colossus vibes. And I'm really stoked to see how that turns out because I haven't got to actually like go back and fight it yet. But if it's what I think it's gonna be, then this game's gonna be pretty great. I am floored by how much fun I'm having with this game.
Just running around being a bully.
Yeah, running, doing stuff. There are sick rails you can grind on. So one last thing before we move on. The fast travel system in this game doesn't exist. There's no fast travel because you're Sonic. Right. You're already fast. You travel everywhere on your own. So instead, when you unlock a map section, they add a rail back to the previous map point. So you can grind on the rails and get back to the start of the island super quickly by just jumping from rail to rail. Okay. It's really cool. That is true. That is true.
Yeah. I'm just a passenger as this goes downhill from here.
I was really impressed with what I've played of it so far, and I'll definitely put some more time into it before next week. Because I'll put it this way: there's a lot of games on my list of games I need to finish. Probably gonna finish Sonic Frontiers. That's how much fun I'm having just running around doing stuff.
Okay.
Or you could say that's how much fun I'm having running around at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Gotta follow that rainbow.
Or you couldn't say that. You could just not.
I wish I could sing it.
I got one thing to show you right quick because
Okay.
I got a gift today. Okay, and I'm gonna do it this way, just because I think you. If I can do this, see if you can see. Is it coming in?
Partly.
Come on.
Oh! Oh!
Okay, but there's some other stuff on there too. Okay. Yes, there's no
That's
doubt
very
about
true.
that, Will.
That's very true.
All right. All
I
right.
am an enigma of a man.
I got this, the ultimate guide to manga and
Ooh.
anime. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got some homework to do, but I actually kind of want it because they've got a lot of stuff on the front that I recognize. Of course, there's Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball. They got Totoro, two other Sailor Moon, a lot of the Naruto. It looks like Berserk.
Yeah, that looked like guts to me.
Yeah. So it looks like on the front, like I'm kind of like I know most of these characters. I know most of these shows. Is that really? I'm pretty sure anime goes out beside that.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
a little bit of that. But I love. There was a quote in here that let me try to find it. Yes, this is this quote from who is it from? Richard. He's a critic. Richard Eisenbane.
Okay.
His name is. Says, but what makes Macross Macross are three things: transforming fighter planes, a love triangle, and the exploration of the power of music.
Yes.
I was like, that gummit.
Yes. That's Macross. Sync Chrome is working again, by the way.
No, I'm not putting that magazine on the camera.
My kudos.
Of course, that would be a great Gundam name.
Right.
That's
very true. That's very true.
All right, man. I see. I've got 4 blanks. Right? 4? Yeah.
Yes.
4. You got 4 reviews tonight?
Yes.
All right.
Like I said, we're at that time of year where there's just going to be a lot of reviews from now on. So
Yeah.
buckle up.
Christmas time is here.
Yep. So the first game that we have here is called Pentiment.
What? Not
Pentiment.
Not Pentultimate.
No.
Okay.
This is made by Obsidian. I'm glad that you've had your dinner. Wow, we're not even getting into what this game is, huh? Just straight to the scores. So this is a game that is a narrative adventure, is what they're saying that it is. It's got a really nice art style that is, I don't know if you remember this one or not. This is the one that looks like it came out of a medieval painting. Like that's the whole game is in that art style.
Okay.
Made by Obsidian again for everything except the Switch.
I have to look at that. You say it's a medieval painting?
Yeah, that's what the whole thing looks like, including like skeletons
Big
in the
eyes.
background with hats up and.
Okay. Interesting.
Get the ice cream
I'm
up.
not quite as confident as some of our out there. It's just, now that's kind of a point. I'm gonna go Instagram. I'm gonna say 88. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I'm
Okay.
gonna say 88. And 78. There we go. Let's give somebody a little bit. Nobody can see the X-ray.
There we go.
There we go.
We'll dress up for next Halloween as Ashen Pale Gray.
Why you gotta wait for Halloween? Dress up.
That's very true.
Come on.
The score is 86%.
Hey, that's pretty close. Not bad. Not bad.
VG247, 24/7 says,
Yeah.
Pentiment is about that phenomenon and also a manifestation of it. It's one of the most engaging and accessible works of living history ever commissioned. And the fact that it exists at all, let alone as a major platform holder's first-party RPG headed into the Christmas season, is a miracle worthy of the saints. So yet again, had to read the very clearly, try to get on the back of the box one.
Yeah.
I got to remind you all those exist every single week.
Could you read that one for me just one more time?
Yeah. Pentiment is about that phenomenon and also a manifestation of it. It's one of the most engaging and accessible works of living history ever commissioned. And the fact that it exists at all, let alone as a major platform's holder's first-party RPG heading into the Christmas season, is a miracle worthy of the saints.
Okay. I don't know if I can give it that much praise to any game.
Right.
And the best, I don't know. Now it's got me interested because I'm kind of wondering what they mean by living history.
Yeah.
Because there is games that I've played that have brought, their review is, but that have brought things more clear, help me understand things. The first Total War is the first one that comes to mind.
This War of Mine.
Total War. Yeah. To where that helped me visualize and see that period of time in Japanese history.
Yeah.
And so did some of the other ones. I don't know that I don't know. I don't like that review. You got another one?
Yes, I have one more for you. This one's from the Beta Network.
Okay.
We don't normally read their reviews because normally they're very politicized, but not this time. Whilst Pentiment promises to give players a fascinating narrative that takes all choices and actions into account, whilst exploring the themes, they put whilst in the same sentence twice, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. No shame. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying it happened. Whilst exploring the themes of politics and religion in Europe in the 1500s, the uninteresting introduction, as well as the countless meaningless interactions throughout the title, make it feel much too long for what it's trying to achieve. There's an interesting plot to uncover here, but you'll have to sit through quite a few hours worth of tedious dialogue, with the occasional unnecessary minigame thrown in for good measure.
Okay. Yeah. Now I kind of want some Taco Bell, but yeah, there is a price to pay.
Every time.
I don't know. These reviews aren't sitting real well for me. But
I don't like Taco Bell.
Well, yeah, but we've already established there's something wrong with you.
Right.
So, I'm gonna go with
no, I love Taco Bell, but it's not good for me.
I'm gonna go 76.
Okay.
On this one, I think we got it. 79, 77.
The score is
Right on.
89%.
Okay. There's a part of me, a part of my soul that goes, they focus on this period in history.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they believe it will be study, see what happened there. And
mm-hmm.
that's why they recommending it. But I don't think that is.
Right. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Next up, that's not the button I was trying to push. Gotta get this. There we go. Next up is...
Say this real quick. Okay? I understand that. It's 189. You like the even numbers more. I'll get in trouble if I leave the television volume on an odd number. It has to be on an even number.
Let's talk about Atari 50, the anniversary collection. Now, that's a weird one.
Okay. Yeah.
It is 50 Atari games. They are basically untouched.
Okay. Dark, I gotta go against you here on this one. But I'm so bias on this. There's the hardest difficulty.
Well, that's Atari games. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
When we talk about Atari games and I say untouched, that's what I mean.
Okay. So the biggest thing that this game could do is not have ET in it.
Right.
Right. The second
Right.
biggest thing is it's gonna the battle alone would be great.
Dark. Most Atari games that I remember on Atari when I was a kid did not have difficulty options.
Well, see,
They just had the run.
2600. You got the 2600, the 5200,
Yeah.
and the 7600. Now, the 2600 is the big one, right?
Yeah.
The 5200 was obviously more advanced, twice the speed and everything, and the games on it were a little more. You had more options with some of those games,
Right.
and then the 7600 kind of flopped. I honestly think 7600 was that might have been around the time Nintendo came out.
So I'm looking at it now. The 2600 did not have difficulty switches, but the 76 and 7800 did. The Atari 2600, you just got what you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking of. When I think about Atari games, I'm thinking about the 2600 because that's what we had.
Yeah, okay. Just for nostalgia purposes and keeping games around, I want to give this a high score. Not quite as high as Will. Will's is a little over the top.
Do you want me to give you a quick list of the games that are in this package?
No.
Okay.
Because I know there's a core of games that I expect to be in there. Like I said, Battle should be one.
Yeah.
Pitfall maybe, but that wasn't the big Atari Pitfall.
Pitfall and ET are both not in it.
Okay. I'm still going to give it a 92.
Okay.
And yes, my score is biased.
Okay.
And if you don't know why E.T. is not in that, that's a very interesting story.
It's one of the worst games ever made. It might be the single worst game ever made. It honestly might be.
As far as not revenue, as far as sales go, it is historically the worst game ever.
Yeah.
There is, I don't know the exact number. Try, you might be able to find it real quick. I don't know.
Might be able to. Let me check.
There's a bunch of cartridges. You know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cartridges of ET that are buried in the desert. It is kind of both sad and hilarious. Yeah. I played that game. I can't say that. I put the cartridge in, I turned it on, and I moved around. I don't know what was supposed to be going on. I think I got a Reese's Pieces. But
700,000.
700,000 cartridges buried out in the desert.
Yeah.
Boy. And this was, when I'm talking about, you probably not might think about it, but the gaming, the console industry at that time was kind of struggling to hold on.
Yeah, it sure was.
And that definitely wasn't a good thing.
No, I think ET is one of the reasons the Atari never survived.
Yeah. And if you're into computers, there's a history on the really interesting history on the personal computer side.
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad as well because Atari home computers were so far ahead of the Commodore, the other stuff that was out.
They sure were.
And I've got to play around on one. Now it was well after that time for this. We couldn't afford a home computer. But yeah, the music, the sound, the sprite animation, real simple stuff, right? Because that's all these computers are doing, real simple stuff. But it was way ahead of what the other computers were doing. They just couldn't get a market share, I guess.
Yeah. All right. We have our guesses in then?
Yes.
trying to bug-eyed behind it, but you couldn't even see my eyes, so it didn't matter.
I know.
The score is 86.
Okay, that's not a bad score.
Not a bad score.
That's not a bad score.
Digitally downloaded says not every Atari game stands up today as a playable masterpiece, and that's just fine. Atari 50, the Anniversary Collection, provides just about the best contextually driven system for playing and appreciating classic retro games that I've ever seen, and it's an absolute must-have for any gamer of any age. I mean, Tempest 2000 is worth the price of admission alone, but along the way you'll learn a lot about gaming history, gaming development, and even the weird and wonderful deals and dodgy antics that Atari got up to in its golden age. And then I have one more for you.
Okay.
This one is from GameSpew. It says, like any retro game collection, how much you get out of Atari 50, the Anniversary Collection, is largely limited by your appreciation of its games. There are a lot here, and it's safe to say that the majority of them didn't really hold our interest. There are some classics that remain very playable, and some were worth returning to just for a bit of nostalgia. The real reason to pick this up, though, is its wealth of museum-like content, as well as its new reimagined takes on some popular titles. They make this a retro collection like no other.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Kind of. I'm 78 is what I'm going with.
Okay.
78. That. I think it's gonna fall somewhere between.
The answer is 95%.
Okay. That's I had two views on the situation. If you care, if you love the history of video games, this is going to be something that you'll want to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
If nothing else, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But if you don't, if you just want if you're happy with the new games now, then there's probably not going to be something you're going to be interested in at all.
Yeah. I agree. Next.
All right, look. I need you to define ancient for me, please.
Well, the Atari's a weird thing too, because like by the time I was born, the NES was coming out, right? But because my family was broke, we couldn't afford an NES when it came out, so we got an Atari.
No, it had to be out a few years before that.
I think the NES came out in like 86, 87, 88, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So like,
yeah.
I just mean generally, like it was coming out like around that time period.
Yeah, because not much longer after that. Oh, is it going to be right in? You check when the Super Nintendo came out, because you shouldn't have been that old.
No, I remember when the SNES came out. Yeah, that was 1990.
Yeah,
I say I remember it, but I remember when it got over here because it was in Japan 1990, and it was over here in 1993. Started 1994 was when it actually like hit the States big.
Yeah,
it was limited availability in 1991 in very specific places of the U.S.
Yeah,
and then it hit like full shelves 1993, 1994.
Well, my best friend from school at that time. And I use it too. She didn't ever really fit, but she was a rich girl, and I think they may have got a little bit early, so I might have been playing it a few months early.
Might have.
We had or we were just sitting there in a dark maze because the sound difference was so amazing. What Zelda was it?
For the SNES?
Yes.
For the SNES, it was Link to the Past, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't think so. The launch Zelda. I just remember going through the cave. Right now, I can't think of which one it is, but I remember going in the cave underground and the water dropping.
Yeah, it was Link to the Past. I thought so.
Yeah, okay. And it had an echo, and just that.
Yeah.
That little bump in sound was so much. And then, F-Zero, we ruined that game just over and over again.
No, I remember when the SNES came out because, like, it would have been 1994 probably. But I remember when it got to us because the NES took a price drop when it did. And so we could finally afford to get an NES. And then it was a couple years later that my dad got a SNES from a guy that wanted a pair of shoes. So he gave up his shoes to get a SNES. And guess what game came with it? Final Fantasy III, which we know as Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah, changed my life. I said, hey, I think I want to do this. I want to do this. And my mom was like, make video games? I was like, no, I want to play video games. Anyway.
Now I'm wondering when the original Final Fantasy come out, and I really don't want to hear it because just talking about the Atari and Nintendo's made me feel
All
old.
right, I'm looking it up. Final Fantasy 1 US release date. 87.
Okay, I played that. It was a few months after its release.
No, I'm sorry. It came out here in the 90s, 1990, July 12th, 1990. 87 in Japan.
Look, Dark.
Light just fall over.
Man, I miss those boxes. I miss
I do too.
In boxes with a huge map.
Yeah.
And a manual you could read on the way home. Like, yes, I'm gonna read through this on the way home. I'll be ready to play when I get there. Man,
I do too.
I miss those, yeah. And I think around that 90 to 94 time period was like that
was the golden age of it for sure.
Yeah, some of it. And the PS2 carried on pretty good. And the discs going to the CD on the PS1, they really cut down on the manual so it would fit in the CD case.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Because with the original Dragon Quest, you got like a whole story with it.
Yeah, it told you what was going on with Air Trick.
Yes.
Although they called him Lotto, but it told you the whole thing.
It almost seems like it. I tell you what, I got, of course, this was years ago, because they did. They went to, like on your Xbox, if you wanted a manual, you'd click on the game, click manual, and it would take you online. And it's like, this is not the same.
Yeah, for sure.
They are.
I agree.
They are. The PS2 was an absolute game changer.
Yep.
Absolute game changer. Yes. Yes.
Those manuals are the reasons that I buy art books today for video games. Because of those manuals. I'm just searching for that same feeling of, hey, I'm looking at this game art and being blown away by it again.
Well, there was something about it, and this goes into the PS2 era as well. I think this goes from the Nintendo even to the PS2 era. I mean, you use Final Fantasy as the example, right? Especially the later ones. When you start flipping through the concept artwork and stuff, those characters don't look anything like the
No, they don't. They don't.
They don't. You kind of got this silly little thing on the game comparatively, but that just gave it a little more flair. It's like, and somehow in my head it was like, okay,
yeah, I see them now as this.
Yes, I know this is what I'm seeing on screen, but I've got.
When I think of Cloud Strife, I don't think of Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud Strife, and I don't think of blocky polygon Cloud Strife. I think of the version of Cloud Strife that is in the manual.
Yeah, yeah.
That is then what I put on him in the game.
I've got quite a few tattoos, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying get one. I'm not saying don't. All I'm saying is they are addictive.
Yeah.
You'll probably want another one.
That makes sense.
I'm not talking you down. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
already fallen into it.
To pull us back to reviews.
Yeah, we might want to do that.
Put this train back on track. Let's talk about Somerville, depending. This is made by.
We have to rely on you to get us back on track,
right? This is made by some of the same people that worked on Limbo and Inside. It is a sci-fi adventure game.
Okay. And Dark's got a review on that Thursday. Fair enough.
So, knowing what you know of how well Limbo is received and how well beloved Inside is, even though it didn't smash all of the records that Limbo did, what do you think about Somerville?
No. If they're compared to, I kind of like. A quick aside: does Limbo belong on the Indie Game Hall of Fame, or Mount Rushmore? Does it that way? Does it belong on the Indie Game Mount Rushmore? And two, Parental Limbo was a pretty big deal just because of the impact the game made.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I want to give this. I'm gonna go 88. I'm gonna go 88.
I don't know if I'd say I'd put it up there though. Like, I love Limbo, but I don't know if I'd put it up there with like Bastion and Minecraft when it was still an indie game.
Yeah, Minecraft would probably have. Well, yeah. I never think about that.
Yeah, that might be a fun podcast topic sometime.
Hey, look, I've got a couple of people probably help me out with that. All right, so we got what did I say? 88. We got 78. I'm 92. She 100%ed it too.
Score is 73.
73. All right. Well, apparently some reviewers are going to get their ass whipped by Dark. I'm not going to say who, but go ahead. You will.
I have to read this one for you. I have to. VG 247 again. VG 2047 is getting. They went a different tack this time, okay? In truth, I'm not the biggest thinker when it comes to media. I watch a film, read a book, play a game, and take what's happened at face value. If meaning is hidden behind a 10K post Reddit thread, then, well, maybe it wasn't conveyed well enough. Somerville doesn't have this problem. It's affecting in all the right ways, and a game I really can't recommend strongly enough. What was that entire paragraph leading up to that moment? Is that, do you enjoy waiting for a bus in the rain? Is that...
Yeah. Yeah. I don't... I mean, that's a pretty bold admission right off the front of your bat in the review, right?
No, I get that's what he was trying to say, Dark. It's just like the way he went about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like some stuff they hit, they hit message there and not always in games. Oh, okay. You got another one? I was like, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
This next one's from IGN Spain.
Okay.
Again, everybody else's IGN is on point most of the time. A remarkable science fiction adventure that shines more for its tone, its context, and its stimulating ending than for the story of its characters. Despite this, it has narrative maneuvers that raise the interest in the text, and with a powerful staging that takes advantage of both its aesthetics and its fixed cameras. A concise and direct video game that succeeds in almost everything it tries and manages to leave an interesting aftertaste.
Interesting review. That wasn't bad, I don't think.
Nothing
jumped out at me on that one. All right. I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna stick with my 88.
Okay. Oh, Dark also went 88.
Yep. Yeah. I feel better about my score.
Will had 75, but the answer is 55%.
No. Dark, Will, and I are much closer to what the right score is.
I love how Dark's response was also just no, but with a little bit more passion. Oh.
Well, if I put caps lock on my voice, nobody will hear.
I did want to give a quick shout out. I don't want to say the outlet, but one of the reviews is basically just, fantastic animations and a really cool setting, and it's trying to tell a story, but there's no exposition, so I don't know what's going on. It's like, but I just had a guy tell me that he hates trying to keep up with stories, and he had no problem keeping up with what's going on. So I don't think I believe you. I think you might either looked away or you might have a harder time reading stories. That guy.
Or maybe you missed something along the way. I don't.
Maybe. It just, I didn't want to call that guy out because it just seems like he wasn't paying attention. But it's like the people that said Endling Extinction is Forever was not about climate control. And then finally for tonight, we have Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Okay.
This is, of course, a remake of Tactics Ogre. for all the current consoles except for Xbox for some reason, even though Sony's not involved. I don't know what the purchase had to be here to get Square to also put Tactics Ogre on just Sony, but console wise, it's not even on, or it is on Switch, so there's that at least. But
I believe you.
I understand. Trust me.
And I believe you much more than I believe anybody in the reviews we read.
If you go back and watch when we talked about the Xenoblade reviews, I understand. It's too anime. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Anime enough.
What's the problem with that? There's a combination pill. Great. Anyway, you remember Tactics Ogre, right? It's a tactical RPG. Plays like War of the Lions or Final Fantasy Tactics, with just a little bit more focus on how, hey, maybe your individual characters aren't quite as important, and it's the job they do on the team that is important.
And it always feels weird. You know, like judge reviews. Like, did they make a faithful version of the first game, or if they remade something else?
It seems like they did for the most part, but they did add voice acting, which is brand new to this game.
Okay. 82.
Dark also had an 82. The two of you are in lockstep tonight. The answer is 85.
Okay, so we weren't too far off.
Not too far.
Not too far off.
Now, I don't mean to go for a hat trick here, but when it comes down to it, VG 247.
Okay.
Say, in a world where we've seen Square Enix fall down with remasters, examples include the lackluster Final Fantasy Pixel remasters and the egregious Kingdom Hearts on Switch, Tactics Ogre Reborn highlights something special, a change of the guard, so to speak, that bodes remarkably well for the rest of the publisher's classic RPG oeuvre. Now, I just need to throw this out here, because this reviewer didn't do the research. Part of the team that helped on this remaster, or the teams that did the Pixel remaster, it's just the same people for the most part. Just throwing that out there. Just
okay. I was gonna say something, but
I'm just
you can be quiet.
I'm just saying. I'll leave that fact on the table, and you can do with it what you want. But I do have. Oh, go ahead.
True. Well, I was reading Dark Statement.
Oh yeah. Level Up says Tactics Ogre Reborn is not perfect, but it's a very wise re-release. It's not uncommon to see re-releases that disappoint by being simplistic or disrespecting the original creative vision by changing too much. But in this case, we're talking about a release that avoids falling into either of these holes. Instead, we have a title that succeeds by delivering the definitive version of a tactical RPG that deserves to be played by more people. That also, should we mention real quick, was tied to the PSP before this, and thus was very hard for people to play.
Yeah. 84.
Okay. You got a 71
84.
from Will.
What I got Dark Score 2.
87, I believe.
87.
The score is 100%.
All right, then. Okay.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, 100%. Whew.
That makes me happy.
All right. All right.
Well, then we can move on.
Yeah.
It's 100% because Tactics Ogre's good, okay? Tactics Ogre's a good game.
It's good.
It's a good game, all right? It just wants to be good. It's not 100% perfect score. It's 100% all the reviewers that reviewed it would recommend it. Just keep that in mind. All right. Moving into the announcements, we have kind of a weird one. Studio Ghibli is working on something for Lucasfilms. And Ghibli, like, they make a lot of stuff. We don't know what this is.
No. No, and it seems like there's just enough information to get your attention.
Yeah. They keep, like, sending out images of Yoda and then Baby Yoda. And so, like, is it going to be about that race? Is it going to be My Neighbor Grogu? What are we looking at here? That one got him. That one got him good.
I don't know. I mean, it would be really... Okay. There's rumors and stuff going on in the background of Disney and Lucasfilm and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I got a love-hate relationship with Disney, and one of the things
Right.
I love is I wouldn't have Studio Ghibli or a lot of it,
Right.
without Disney. So I got to, yeah. But even if I'm just going with the base thought of like, yeah, Studio Ghibli is going to do a Star Wars story.
Right.
That's enough to make me go, okay, yeah, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The only thing I'm worried about at this point is that this might be stuck on Disney Plus.
Okay, well, that would be fair. That would be unfortunate. Because I want a disc.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's been an update to this story as of 3 minutes ago.
Really? Okay. This is exciting. What's going on?
The project has a name, and it's called Zen, Grogu, and Dust Bunnies. And it is a 3-minute animated short being made by Studio Ghibli of Grogu. Seems to be playing with, obviously it's not available to watch yet, but seems to be playing with some dust bunnies from Ghibli series of, like, the dust bunnies show up in a couple different movies, but
yeah, soot sprites,
right?
Are they playing with the soot sprites?
Yeah,
Are they calling them dust bunnies?
they are calling them dust bunnies.
Okay, first of all, fire whoever that is at Disney. Those are soot sprites.
I agree
have
with
a
you.
function. They
I
have
agree
a
with
function.
you.
No, if you're gonna announce this, don't give me 3 minutes with Grogu playing with soot sprites.
It's so funny how this went from being like something I was really excited about to, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that sentiment's pretty much everywhere now. Oh.
But yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
that's the update
Well,
that just happened 3 minutes ago on this.
Wow.
If only we did the podcast before we got here.
Right. Oh, yes. You too. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Oof.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, we'll see how it goes, though.
Thanks, man. That's like all the food I eat.
Yeah.
Just turn to crap.
Yeah.
Just turn to crap.
It could be that this is just the first of many projects, because the first tease had nothing to do with Grogu. And then the second tease was Yoda, not Baby Yoda. So it could be this is just one of many programs they're doing. I hope so, but all we know right now is that we have this Zen program.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Gosh.
Let's just move on. Let's talk about...
Dwell on my disappointment for... Disappointed!
I love that so much. Oh... Yeah, it was Lucasfilms. Let's talk about the Gamepass games coming up.
Okay.
So we got some pretty big ones, honestly. Available today, Pentiment that we talked about earlier, and Somerville that we talked about earlier.
There you go.
Both available on Game Pass for cloud console and PC. November 17th, Dune Spice Wars is coming to PC. I know. Ghost Lore is coming to PC as well. A day or two, okay.
That's good. We need games like that.
Yeah.
I need games like that.
Lapin, which is a 2D platformer game featuring a group of brave rabbit explorers. That's coming on the 17th to cloud console and PC.
Don't we do that
Norco?
like on a few Sundays?
Right. Norco
okay.
is coming to cloud and console on November 17th. That's the Southern Gothic point-and-click narrative adventure. Gungrave Gore is coming to cloud console and PC November 22nd.
Yeah.
Super stoked for that.
Okay.
Insurgency Sandstorm is coming to cloud and console November 29th. That's the co-op PvP multiplayer modes of it.
Okay.
I gotcha. Soccer Story is coming November 29th. Gungrave Gore. Soccer Story is a physics-driven adventure RPG where every problem can be solved with your trusty magic ball. And then
That's how I've lived my life.
And then Warhammer 40k Darktide is coming to PC on November 30th on its release date. It will be on Game Pass. So there you go. I now get to make a video on Darktide on release day.
That's gonna be but that's gonna be in the style of the Vermintide, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's not gonna be in the style of the tactics.
Right.
Of that.
So I'm stoked for that.
Glad you're excited. That's cool.
And then they just want to. This is weird. They want to remind everybody, probably because it just launched or is getting its launch on consoles soon. Vampire Survivors is available now on the cloud version of Game Pass, just in case you missed it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sure.
Just in case.
And then of course, whenever we talk about this, some stuff has to leave. Leaving November 30th, Archvale, Deer Simulator,
Okay.
Final Fantasy 13-2, which is, I think, in my personal opinion, the best of the 313 games. Mind Scanners, Mortal Shell, Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator,
That was pretty good.
Undungeon, and Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, which I haven't beaten on Game Pass yet and need to do quick if I want to do it, but I'm not going to have time because it's Goaty times. So I'm sorry, Battle Sector. I really want to play more of you, but I guess I'm just going to get you on sale on Steam.
Xenoblade's out.
That's right. Sorry, Battle Sector. I love 40k. I love Xenoblade more. Yeah, that's where that's at. Next up, this is really cool to me. Witcher 3 next gen upgrade is free. It's coming December 14th.
That's cool.
And there was a time when the new consoles first came out that the next gen upgrades were all free. And this wouldn't have been news at all. And then suddenly they stopped being free and started being $10, $15, $20, $30 for some of them.
Yeah.
So it's great that this one's still going to be free.
It is.
I wish it wasn't news, but it is. And that also means that I'm not going to touch Witcher 3 until next year when I can play it on PS5 now. I am eventually still going to go back and beat that game, but now I'm going to wait until
they make it prettier.
Yeah, because I have Xenoblade to play right now. This last announcement I've been saving, and it's redacted for you. This is brand new for you. Because I don't think you're going to believe it when I say out loud what it is.
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege is crossing over with Nier Replicant. It may be the best possible way. So,
what a weird crossover.
Their character Maverick has a drone, right?
Yeah.
And so they have replaced him with Nier and the drone with Grimoire Weiss. But they didn't just go, hey, let's give him the drone for Weiss and put him in Nier's outfit. They went, hey, you know, and this is just backstory for anybody that doesn't know. Nier originally came out as Nier Gestalt on the PS3 here in the US, and we got a different Nier character than they did in Japan. They got brother Nier. We got dad Nier.
Yeah.
So then when Replicant came out, we finally got brother Nier. And we got to see the story in a different light because now it's the brother instead of the dad. What they decided to do for Maverick, because he's a grown man, is they didn't put him in Papa Nier's outfit. They put him in Brother Nier's outfit, but it's Papa Nier. And so it's Papa Nier wearing Brother Nier's outfit with a gun. And the fan base is taken to calling him Uncle Nier.
All right. Next week, we'll discuss the Pokemon Halo crossover.
Right? So I guess I'm playing
Lordy.
Rainbow Six Siege. They also announced that we'll get more information about the bundle because there's going to be a 2B costume as well. And we'll get more information about the bundle later on in the month. And I'm so excited to see what the next abomination. Who are they going to put as 2B and what are they going to do to her?
This is dumb. This is dumb. God, dog.
Oh, I can't wait to play as Uncle Nier. It looks so wrong. Like when anybody that's listening to this and sees dark comments and go, man, I don't understand why it looks so wrong.
Kane 2B and A2?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you look it up, Will? Let me put an image on screen for everybody here. Oh, I'll send the image to you as well, my friend. It looks so wrong.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Oh, it's gone. Hold on. Let me grab it again. Image in new tab. There you go, chat. Oh, no, it's gone again. Okay, I'll save it. I really didn't want to have to save this image on my computer, but I will.
I don't want it on the drive.
There we go. And then I will send this to you real quick.
Oh, okay. That looks like it should be one. It looks like it should be a completely different game than either of them.
It sure does.
I'm so confused.
I have a headache from laughing so hard.
That's. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I am all for collaboration, but come on, think it through.
It's such a weird decision. What I hope this means is that Rainbow Six Siege is about to start crossing over with everything. I want a Yakuza crossover where you can just be Majima running around. I'm sorry, it's Like a Dragon now. It's not called Yakuza anymore. I want a Like a Dragon crossover. I want a Dynasty Warriors crossover.
I want the Smurfs in God of War. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I sent the logo one. The other one was too small from my end to send.
Okay.
Yeah. What a strange decision they made.
Yeah.
Also, just to clarify, for anybody who's like, what do you mean? Let me show you Brother Nier and Papa Nier real quick. Because the outfit makes sense on Brother Nier.
There's plenty of stuff that Gundam I think cross over, but this is weird.
Yeah. Here's somebody's adorable fan art of Papa Nier and Brother Nier holding Yona. And okay, well, let me save this. It's got their handle in the bottom corner, so it's not like I'm just trying to steal their stuff here.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. Trying to save as a WebP, so that's making things fun.
Near a twink. Oh my god. Look, Look, Dark, that just made this even worse in my head, okay? That's just wrong.
Right. I put it in the Discord that was already open on my screen, so it's in that Discord. But those are the characters that should not be combined.
No.
Both of their outfits are weird and cool and Nier. They're fine. They don't need to be combined.
Oh, dude, that's some. Yeah.
So you see why I left that redacted for you.
Okay.
Let's move on into the news.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
We actually still have a lot to cover in the news. So,
yeah.
Ubisoft has canceled an upcoming game that everybody's been excited for. Come here.
Okay.
They've canceled the Prince of Persia remake.
Yeah. What they've canceled?
They've canceled the Prince of Persia remake. Specifically, they want to make sure everybody understands they've only canceled the pre-orders. The game's still coming eventually, but it's been delayed indefinitely. The game's not coming out.
No, not on. I don't know. That's weird.
No, they made that game, and they made it bad, and everybody hated what they saw of it, and they went, "Oh, we got to redo this," and went, "I don't think we can."
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm taking out of it.
Yeah.
I know somebody likes Prince of Persia a lot and would probably play the remake, but guess don't get a chance to now.
Yeah. So all the pre-orders have been canceled, and we'll see how that goes.
It's awful.
Speaking of awful, let's talk about Zaum. So,
right on.
Zaum has come out and said, hey, the real problem, the reason those employees left before and are now trying to sue the company to get their game back, for anybody, just background for anybody who doesn't remember. A bunch of the devs of Disco Elysium, the main writer and head producer left, and a bunch of the other devs followed because the studio would not let them make the sequel they wanted to make, is what they said, right? Well, now Zaum, they're also suing to get the rights to the title again so they can make it themselves. Zaum, the studio, has decided that actually the real reason that they're gone is not because they left because we wouldn't give them what they wanted. It's because they were incredibly toxic to the company and they were fired. Said they had limited to no engagement in their responsibilities and work, created a toxic work environment, demonstrated misconduct towards other employees, including verbal abuse and gender discrimination, and attempted to illegally sell Zaum's intellectual property. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should believe one side more than the other, because we don't have proof of anything.
Right. We're there.
What I am going to say is it feels really weird that Zaum put out this statement on the day that the lawsuit started.
Yeah. It's kind of, that's sometimes the strategy you have to take is, like Dark saying, you have to kind of take parts of both.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a real, especially when you're starting a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I realize there's no lawsuit here. I should verify that. But yeah, you don't release anything.
Yeah.
Any kind of statement or nothing when you're going to court.
Yeah.
And
oh, go ahead.
Well, there's words that I think get overused, right? Or people will gravitate towards those words.
Yeah.
Because it has a power. Toxic's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's quite a few of them that think it through. You can probably pick up a few more that you think about. Mm-hmm. It almost seems like a staged statement.
Yeah, like it was prepared ahead of time to release when the lawsuit started. Not for the interest of defamation, but in the purpose of defaming and regaining public face is what it feels like to me. Of hey, we're trying to make them look bad so everybody knows we're the good guys here. And for what it's worth, there are a couple of employees that have decided to remain anonymous that have spoken out to a couple different websites and said that when it comes to Kurvitz, the writer, some of Kurvitz's behavior was a little out of form, but people let it go because they respected him and felt like they owed him because he's the one that wrote the story and was the head producer. They don't exactly say what he did, though. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the guy was a saint, but I don't know what he's being accused of, really. And also, another employee that, again, wants to remain anonymous, I don't blame them, says that the people that left the studio went to different studios to try and sell the game to them underneath Zaum's control without them knowing they were doing it, and that it upset Zaum and led to a lot of problems between them. But
yeah, it sounds like a little bit. It sounds like I don't know that either side is really looking for justice.
Yeah,
or if they're looking for revenge. There's a different,
Well,
you can
Kurvitz
sometimes get justice. Sometimes get justice in court.
Kurvitz has, since the original article come out, Kurvitz has put forward claims that the majority stake in Zaum that Studio OU. Oh boy, this was the big part of the story too. Perfect timing.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Big sneeze.
Last thing, when we get justice, I'll start that up again. Excellent. 15 seconds to breathe.
Seconds. Welcome back.
Okay. I don't think either side. When I was saying that, it doesn't sound to me like either side is really looking for justice. That they're looking for revenge. They want to use the civil justice system, and it's going to sound weird. I'm going to try to be careful. They want to use the civil court to punish the other party.
Right, and we're saying that's what it sounds like. We're not saying that's what it is.
Like, rather than being in civil court to get back losses or something like I've been wronged.
Right.
And I want to fix that.
Now, Kurvitz has put out a post that claims that the majority stake that Studio OU bought in Zaum was obtained fraudulently. He says as soon as they became major shareholders, we were quickly excluded from daily operations, our employment was terminated, and our access to the company's information was shut off. Our firing came weeks after we started asking for documents and financial data, which is still being kept from us. Whether that's true or not, hard to say. But that's what he believes, at least, it seems.
Yeah, see, that's... That may be delving into discovery and some other court-related things.
Right.
That, neither one of us qualified to talk about.
So that's the update on the Zaum situation. It's not good, and it seems like there's problems all around. And I would be very surprised if we get the whole story at some point, but we're definitely going to be getting updates as the story continues forward.
Okay.
Next up, this one is a lot more cut and dry. The Lost Ark devs made an oopsie. Let's call it an oopsie that basically turned the entire games community against them. Little oopsie, just a little small mistake. The game's been having a lot of problems with disconnects with the servers lately, and there's a big update coming this week. And in the build-up to this, players received an in-game mail that reminded them about the update and were offered a small amount of compensation in the form of 10 fions per character, which is 60 to 80 if you have a full roster of characters. Fions are required for transactions on the auction house. They're like an extra thing you have to pay when you buy or sell things on the auction house. When it comes to that, 10 is not a lot, right? A single accessory in-game could cost like 25 fions. And ability stones cost 9 each. So basically got the ability to get 1 ability stone on each character. Early this morning, as of this morning today, the community managers revealed that the handout was a mistake and they would be reclaiming the fions from players' accounts.
Ooh.
So not only did you give them basically nothing,
yeah,
but then you're going to take it away. So then the question was asked, well, what happens if you already spent the fions? Are you going to wind up with a negative balance because of that? Have to go get more? Have to go buy more with your own money to not have a negative balance? Now, there have been a couple updates. And the updates, I wish I could tell you, made everything better. But the first update is that they decided not to revoke the fions that were already claimed in-game by players, but would still be revoking them for players who had. So now people are upset because if you didn't log in during that small window, you just didn't get your free gift. Other people got them. They got to keep them. But you didn't. And then the company, AGS, put out a statement saying they removed the fions in part because players were exploiting them by making new characters to receive the mails, which was disproven by players who tried doing that before the maintenance to see if they could and found out it only worked with pre-existing characters. So it was just a straight-up lie.
Yeah. And look, there's 3 different MMOs that wouldn't, like when they give out character-wise or account-wise stuff, they don't punish you for making another character.
Yeah.
And they don't advertise it, but they don't punish you either. This is horrible.
Yeah.
One, the mistake was on you.
Right. Don't then take it from the players.
Yeah. You're punishing players. Like you said, that's just horrible.
Yep.
That's not good.
Yep. It is so incredible to me. I don't understand it. The whole thing of like, well, this could be an exploit when they themselves knew it was programmed to only work for pre-existing characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, just more reasons why you don't hear people talk about Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dunkey.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Now, I know everybody loves it when we talk about Dunkey, right? We talked about Dunkey with the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stuff and the uproar that was going on then. Dunkey, then we talked about him with his like publishing company that he's starting.
Because he knows what good games are.
Yeah. Dunkey made a video on Sonic Frontiers.
Okay.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that he did this on purpose. I'm going to say it looks like he did this on purpose. He says he didn't do this on purpose. He spent the entire video bashing the game, which is fair. Anybody's allowed to make whatever video they want, right? I'm not going to say because I like the game that he shouldn't have done that. What he shouldn't have done was end the video by saying, look at all these good games, Metacritic scores, user scores on Metacritic, and then look at this piece of trash game on Metacritic. Because guess what happened after that? His fans went and review bombed the game. Because Dunkey said it shouldn't be up there.
Okay.
Now,
wow.
When he got called out on this, it's also like very obvious these are Dunkey fans, by the way, because you can read Metacritic user reviews. You can read them and see people saying, I just saw Dunkey's review and the game looks really bad. I haven't played it yet, but Sonic sucks and he goes too fast. It's too hard to see what's going on. I would rather play better games like Elden Ring than this trash. It just like, It's very obvious, right?
Oh my god.
And so
Okay.
when called out, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, look, and you can't. It's hard to be responsible. It's hard for me to give full responsibility to a creator,
Right.
whose fans have done some crappy stuff.
Right. I agree with that.
However, when the creator is kind of calling for that,
Mhm.
I've got a very specific example in my mind now. Few actually, and it's the same guy. Are actually kind of calling for that, even kind of like a joking way, and they're not. That's a problem.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
He got called out on it, of course, because people went, "Hey, this is not cool that you're doing this. What's the point of us even having Metacritic user scores if you're just going to use it as a weapon against games you don't like? Aren't you supposed to be trying to become a publisher? Is this a thing publishers should be doing? Are you going to try and get your fans to rate games that you published? Like, obviously there could be a conflict of interest here." His response was to tweet out some accounts that are like Dunkey Lover, Dunkey Fan on Metacritic with their reviews saying that the game looks bad, by saying, "Sonic fans are review bombing their own favorite game to make my fans look bad. They really thought they were slick calling their account Dunkey Lover 2005.
Holy cow.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm normally not this guy, right? How conceited do you have to be to think that a fan base is going to review bomb their own new game
Make you look bad.
just to make you look bad?
That level of narcissism is like astonishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awful, but in some ways, it's almost impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Golly, how ridiculous!
Yeah. This has led to him getting a lot more backlash, and people are talking about how his reviews often will say things like, "Well, I wouldn't expect it to have a good story anyway since it came from Japan," which seems, a little...
What?
Yeah, seems a little racist.
Oh my god!
And makes you go, "Wait, hold on, this guy wants to be a publisher?" Like...
That's ridiculous. Look. There are some games that are coming out of Japan that haven't been very good.
Right.
But honestly, if I do enjoy games.
Right.
And without Japan,
right,
I wouldn't be enjoying a lot of these games, even
I
the ones that
agree.
aren't made in Japan.
I agree. They've inspired all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Dark. It just like, it feels like he's gotten full mask off at this point. Like, hey, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I don't care because I'm the big guy. I'm the publisher guy now. I'm the guy. I can do what I want. And we normally don't cover like individual people like this, especially other YouTubers. But when it comes to stuff like this, it just, I could not include it in the news. It is. It's so over the top.
Oh man.
He does go on to say, in the end, way more positive reviews are being left than negative. And then he says, and it is 90% Sonic fans leaving both, which is not correct. And my intention was never to send review bombers. I just wanted to make an entertaining video on a game I didn't really like, and I was shocked by the user scores, so I included it. I can't be alone in feeling crazy when seeing them. Here's the thing, man. People like different stuff. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people aren't going to like it too. They might like it for very different reasons. So of course the user scores are going to be different.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And I'm not now trying to send our audience after him. I feel like I have to clarify that. But, like, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing when you go, hey, I like games like this, or I like games like this. But he specifically showed user scores while saying, why is this game up here with these good games? Like, what do you expect's going to happen?
Yeah.
And this is what I was really hoping we'd get from this, is a decent conversation on this. It is not up to the creator to control their fan base most of the time, but it is up to the creator to be responsible knowing they have that fan base.
Yeah. Yeah. These people are watching you to get your view. Now, not maybe not all your viewers agree with you, and that'd probably be a good thing if they don't.
Yeah.
Right. Want some feedback.
We don't have
Ugh.
1 million subscribers, but even with the subscribers we have on this channel, it would be completely incredulously terrible for me to put somebody's address on screen. You know what I mean? Like,
God, yeah,
we couldn't do that.
Oh, no.
For the chance that just one person went to that house to hurt that person. Like, we can't take that chance. And that's the way, I hate to say it, that's the way you have to look at it. You have to be careful how you word things, especially in a video you edited together. You had to put those screenshots on screen together. You had every opportunity to go, hey, maybe this is not a good idea. You have editors that go back over stuff for you. How come you didn't listen when any of them? Why didn't any of them say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this?
Nah. I don't know, man. I can't imagine. Say the thing about the story, what he expects from Japan is still like rattling around my head. I can't. I would never. You don't. Oh man. Why would you pick just say a group of people and be like, yeah, they're all horrible? No.
Right.
Dude.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms is in the blood of everything you've ever seen. And yes, it's not from Japan, but the version most people read is the version that's been like Anglicanized almost and was made popular from Japan. Oda Nobunaga is in the lifeblood of so many things.
Yeah. But no, he's just making it worse, man.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And I'm sure, Dunkey, if you see this, it was all jokes, right? It was all just jokes. You didn't mean any of it, right? But it's impossible for me to tell because your videos are either satire or serious, and the tone of your voice is exactly the same with both. And you claim they're either one depending on the day. So get mad at us all you want. Stop being racist. Be responsible. That's what I'm saying. Be responsible.
Right. And it just makes it worse because he's the one that's like, I know what good games are.
Yeah, 100%.
How do you say that about Japan?
100%. He's the guy that says, I know what good games are.
All right, fine.
All right. This last news story. Game Awards nominees.
But it's November.
Yeah. I hope you're excited for these because it's going to be pretty great. We can also vote with the channel's account. We can vote tonight.
Yeah?
On the categories. And I think we probably should.
Okay.
I'll log into the channel's account here. Let me get this out of here. Haha. I just realized that showed my email on screen, so that's fun.
Not the correct one either.
No, that's fun. Not super happy with that. Gonna have to go back through and blur that in the edit. All right. Let's go to the categories. So there are some esports categories. I personally feel like we should probably just skip those.
Okay.
Because we've made it very clear we kind of just don't care. No offense to the players.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
Most anticipated game. The nominees are Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
And what is the category? How are they defined?
Most anticipated game. Best game not coming out this year, basically.
don't know, man.
I
Because
think for me, it's probably Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
But
that's an interesting one, but that's it. Almost seems community specific to me.
yeah, I'm also really stoked for Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that one seems like a real big one. But Resident Evil 4 is one of the jewels of that series.
Also, who's stoked for Hogwarts Legacy? Like, I'm sorry, but
Harry Potter fans, I don't care.
yeah, I guess so. I read the first part of that comment and thought you were making another dig at Dunkey.
No.
I'm leaning towards Legend of Zelda, but I could be swayed.
Well, see, that's kind of that's kind of where I'm at too. Is that one?
Let's vote then.
Yeah.
I'll
go with that one.
Next up. Next up is Best Adaptation. The nominees are Arcane, League of Legends, of course, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. I wish this was Best Adaptation as in a thing that was turned into a game, but sure.
Yeah, I kind of went the other way with it from what the title seems like. Honestly, I don't like League of Legends. Arcane was really good.
I think it has to go to Arcane. I haven't seen it yet, but Arcane has gotten that statement from so many people.
Yeah. No, the show, the movie was amazing. Really, really good.
Arcane
really good. Yeah.
Next up is Best Debut Indie. This is Best Debut Game created by a new independent studio. Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
There's some good ones in there, but I think I would probably give it to Stray. She says Tunic.
I'm also leaning on Tunic.
Okay. Well, let's go with Tunic then.
I think that much as I love Vampire Survivors, I think that Tunic is like outstanding in that somehow it is just the first Zelda game, but with a new map in a way that nobody's been able to recreate again.
Okay.
Also with some cool stuff. So Content Creator of the Year, are you ready for a bunch of people you've probably never heard of?
Me. It's me. Put it down, move on.
Carl Jacobs. I guess every year we're just going to do a different person to Mr. Beast's team.
Who just passed PewDiePie.
Yeah. Ludwig, I guess, not Ludwig. Ludwig Ogren. Nebellion, which is a person that did Twitter News. They were a Twitter News aggregator. Gotta be honest, they did great work, and I use them every week. Don't know what makes sense for them to be on here. No Brew, who is a Twitch streamer, and QT Cinderella, who is a Twitch streamer.
At the end of the day, I don't care.
Right. I say we go Ludwig just because I think his performance on stage is going to be the funniest.
Okay, that's fine with me.
That's at the end of the day, like Ludwig's going to show up on stage and go, boys, because that's what he does, and then we're going to be done.
If that's what they'll do, then actually I'm kind of for that. So
yeah,
good. All right. Yep. There we go. Ludwig.
Best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform.
Outro. Go.
Right. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. How is Overwatch 2 on this list when it's had as many problems as it's had?
I don't know.
With the servers and everything?
Money.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's on this list. You're right.
I'm almost at flip the coin on the last two.
Yeah, I think it either needs to go to Splatoon or TMNT. I'm personally leaning more to Splatoon as much as I love TMNT because TMNT didn't launch with co-op. It was added in.
Yeah. I'm good with Splatoon. Splatoon 3.
Realistically, there's not going to be a lot of Nintendo games on this list, so why not? I haven't seen the whole list. I just know the Game Awards. Yeah, Splatoon was
Yeah.
made for multiplayer for sure.
Yeah. And
Best. Oh, go ahead.
good
Sorry.
game. Well, Splatoon's just a good game.
It is
It's a good shooter and being silly. It's just yeah. I'm gonna go
very
with that.
unique.
Yeah.
Best sports / racing, because remember they combined these as of last year. F1 22,
Fair enough.
FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World. I don't know what to go with here. I'm gonna defer to you.
Let's give it to the skateboarders. Ollie Ollie World.
Okay, let's go Ollie Ollie World.
Yeah. You think it might be Gran Turismo 7. Dave?
I've already hit the vote.
Okay. But I think there is something to be said for Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the only other one that stood out to me, really.
Yeah. So they've also combined these categories: best sim / strategy, best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. And this is the first time I'm actually going to get upset. Dune Spice Wars,
No.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. Where is Triangle Strategy? Where is Tactics Ogre Reborn?
I don't know. And that's kind of a weird list. I know the 40K game has got its fans, but I don't know it's got a whole bunch of fans.
Right.
No, it's got some very loyal ones.
It also
really
launched
like
with
that battle.
really terrible optimization, but it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah. I don't know or see. Same answer as Dark.
Yeah. I say we go with either Total War Warhammer 3 or Victoria 3, just because I haven't played Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and I've played those two. Of the two,
the game being released, it's going to be put on the list whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to crap on Mario.
Right.
It's just the nature of the beast.
Well, and also this is the category they can shove it in and not have to bring it up anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's the Game Awards. I say we give it to Warhammer 3.
Okay. Well, we'll do that just for you, Bubba.
Thank you.
Give it to Warhammer.
Best family game.
Oh.
For the best game appropriate for family play, regardless or irrespective of genre or platform. Okay. This is where all your Nintendo games are. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is like not sure it could be a family game, but also like it's just a good game on its own.
Yeah, but there's some things that Kirby does in that bother me.
Right. That I don't think make it a family game at all. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which again, that's a single player game. Why is it in the family game section? I guess you're gonna play it in front of your kids. Nintendo Switch Sports. That would make sense to me being there.
Yeah.
And Splatoon 3, which again, you're not playing that with the family. They just got to watch you play it.
The Wii Sports one, actually, it was probably a good choice.
Yeah, I think Nintendo Switch Sports has to take it because that one you can actually play with each other, and it's not a game that's just a collection of all the games that have already come out before.
Now it's got. I will say this about the Wii, Switch Sports. I keep saying Wii.
I understand. Wii Sports was like that was the lingo for a long time.
There's a couple of the games that don't work really well.
Yeah,
but on the whole, it's fun to mess around, and play with the family. So I'd give it to that one.
I agree. Best fighting game for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat.
Okay.
DNF Duel, pretty good fighter. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, very good fighter. King of Fighters 15, very good fighter. Multiverses, more of a party game, but sure, you know. Okay. And Sifu, a single-player game.
Really? I expected to hear Tekken.
Yeah.
of that. King of
Yeah.
Fighters been around forever.
Sifu does not deserve to win this category because it doesn't fit in the category. It's not about head-to-head combat. It's a single-player game. It's a great game, and it should be in Best Action, which we're going to get to in a little bit, but it's not a fighting game. Somebody who put it in here didn't even know what kind of game it was. No, it's about hand-to-hand combat, not head-to-head combat. That's different.
Right?
It should be in Best Action. It should not be in this category.
Oh, man. I kind of want to say King of Fighters. But I think it's got a little bit of, yeah. But I don't know that it would win this, honestly.
I would personally give it to DNF Duel. But I think I'm probably the only person that's even here, or even that will watch this later, that knows what DNF Duel is.
Okay.
So I'm also willing to give it to King of Fighters.
Well, we go DNF. I'm good.
Okay. Not giving it to Sifu, even though I like Sifu.
Right.
This next one's fun. Best role-playing game. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Right?
Okay. Lotro.
Next. The nominees are Elden Ring. Best RPG. That's an interesting choice. I don't even think of those games as RPGs personally. They are, I guess.
But... Well, I think RPG just means now a
game with a leveling system.
Leveling system that has a storyline.
Yeah. Live a Life. Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is the least RPG of any Pokemon game. Triangle Strategy, which should have been in Best Sim Strategy. Strategy's literally in the name. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is the only actual RPG along with Live A Live in this list.
All right, well, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is my vote.
And when people go, Trey, why do you dunk on the Game Awards so bad? Look at this list. This.
Yeah.
All right, well, Xenoblade I already gave the vote to. So, Best Action Adventure. For the Best Action Adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. A Plague Tale Requiem.
Okay.
God of War Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. Stray. And Tunic. Only one of these that I've played is Tunic.
It's quite a list, actually. This is a hard decision for me. I mean, so many people have been just jumping up and down about God of War.
Yeah.
But Tunic has got so much noise as well. Be careful, Will. Have a good night.
And Stray seems really interesting, too. I would maybe not have nominated Horizon Forbidden West here. Okay. And I would maybe have put Pokemon Legends Arceus here instead.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. It's action adventure, combat, traversal, puzzle solving. But I haven't played Forbidden West. So I don't know. I just don't hear anybody talk about it ever.
Yeah. Kind of want to give it I kind of want to just give it to God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's what's going to win this anyway, whether we vote or not.
Yeah.
Does chat have any strong feelings about it? Because again, the only one of these I've played is Tunic. I've not played God of War yet. I actually had to choose between God of War or Sonic, and I chose Sonic because I saw a short video of God of War gameplay where they had an NPC saying, I understand, have a good one, saying,
see you later, Dark.
Like, the person walked up to a puzzle, and the NPC immediately gave them the answer on how to solve the puzzle. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait till they patch that out before I pick this game up.
Fix it. But, then I'll play it.
No, it's tough for me to say. Again, Tunic's the only one I've played, so.
Well, let's give it to Tunic then.
Okay. Next up is Best Action Game. The best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Bayonetta 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I guess it's shooters and action, I guess. Neon White. Sifu. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Where is Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin?
I don't know. I have
It
a
wasn't an
feeling we should
RPG. It wasn't an action adventure. And now it's not in action. It's not going to get nominated for anything, is it? Even though it is just an action RPG. That's all it is. It is great. It is perfect in that genre. A seminal standout until you get to the DLC of like what those games should be. Not here at all.
So we give it to Sifu, right?
I agree. Best VR/AR. After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. And I mean, there's a lot of cool VR and AR games here. I think it's probably going to go to Among Us VR.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty crazy how they were able to translate that game into VR.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and our hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We have... This is really hard for me to have any opinion on, personally, because I haven't played any of these games. As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. And I kind of wish they would give us a little bit that each game did.
Yeah,
to be accessible.
That's what I was just thinking, like, what did they do?
So I don't
You could
know.
that could almost be random.
Yeah,
for me.
I think we skip this vote.
Okay.
Next up is Best Community Support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game update patches. Waverly said God of War should have won that. Maybe it should have. Maybe it should have.
Okay.
We'll wait and see what does win. Your nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, which I don't think should be on this list, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
What a grouping.
Yep. There was some money.
No Man's Sky, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. I would say either No Man's Sky or 14. I don't think Fortnite has been like doing... Apex, I know, has some cool stuff, but it's not like they've just been really helping. And Destiny 2 is actively hurting its fan base. So, like, I'd say No Man's Sky.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device. I'm sure you're excited for these.
Yeah.
Apex Legends Mobile. Makes sense. Genshin Impact. Makes sense. Marvel Snap. Makes sense. Tower of Fantasy. And Diablo Immortal is nominated for Best Mobile Game of the Year.
Okay, so if God of War comes to the game, I got to vote for it.
Yeah, apparently.
I have to argue for it. I don't know.
I can't believe Diablo Immortal got nominated for Best Mobile Game of the Year.
As long as it's not Diablo Immortal, I'm not worried. We can vote where we want to, wherever you feel right about it.
I don't want to give it to Genshin, so I say we give it to Marvel Snap. I see a lot of people talk about playing that game.
Okay, fair enough.
To clarify, I don't hate Genshin. I just can't play Genshin. Best indie game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
Oh my gosh.
This one I feel like we should probably give to Stray. Because even though it's an indie game, it somehow has gotten talked about like a AAA game.
Yeah. I'm good with that. Stray's good.
We have 9 more.
Okay.
Best ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Nominees are, you're going to recognize this list, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to give it to any of the others.
Anything else? Yeah.
Games for Impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. This is historically the worst explained category every year.
Yeah.
The The nominees, though, are A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, Hindsight, and Endling Extension is Forever. I'm leaning on Endling because I think it actually does something with that story by making you feel for creatures that are going through a extinction event, you know?
Mock the vote.
Best Performance, Ashley Birch in Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney in A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War Ragnarok, which I believe that's what we're going to have to choose because of...
That's the vote.
Just quick shout out to Man Engage in Immortality and Sonny Suljic in God of War Ragnarok as well. Good job, Kratos.
Yeah, okay, give it to Kratos. Fair enough. Yeah, there we go.
Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. And this time, I think the nominees are pretty good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Okay. That game, I may not enjoy Call of Duty anymore. That game sounds good.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. That game sounds good. God of War Ragnarok, I have no doubt that game sounds good. Gran Turismo 7, which I personally think should win this category. And Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm sure sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of want to go with the Gran Turismo on this one.
Yeah. They put work in to make it sound like the cars.
Yeah.
Next up is Best Score and Music. And there's not super happy with these nominees. Not because the games that are nominated are bad, just because there are games that I think should have been on this list. A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, which has great music, but I don't think is it like the best thing about that game. God of War Ragnarok, haven't listened to the music of it, but the soundtrack from the first one was great.
Okay.
Metal Hellsinger, which does have a great soundtrack, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Look, all I'm saying is when you hit the menu button in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the music goes...
Here's my answer to this. And I'm not going to ask you what you voted for. I have to vote for God of War.
Right.
But you're the one
get to click the button.
Yeah. No.
So, of course I voted for God of War 3. Best Art Direction. Now, this one's going to be fun. Elden Ring, which I think has incredible art direction, right?
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok. I played the first game. I know how good the art direction is there, right? Horizon Forbidden West. I haven't played Forbidden West, but I've played Zero Dawn. The art direction in Zero Dawn is incredible.
Yeah.
Scorn. That's what that game is, right?
Yeah.
And then Stray, which also has incredible art direction.
Yeah, they do. When you put them up. Out of all of those, Scorn would have the most unique. It's almost Geiger Edge.
I think we pull for Scorn, even though personally I'm Elden Ring on this. Because I think Scorn deserves it.
Okay. Give it to them.
Stray? Ooh. Stray's very nice.
Yeah.
Best narrative. A Plague Tale Requiem.
Possibly.
Elden Ring.
Maybe.
Which there's a whole discussion to be had there. God of War Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. And Immortality. Now, the only one of these I've played is Elden Ring. And I should mention, I think Elden Ring has an incredible narrative. However, a lot of people have said it doesn't have a narrative at all because you have to hunt for it and it's not told to you. That's a whole different conversation. You cannot like the narrative because you have to hunt for it, but that doesn't make it a bad narrative. You can think it's badly told, but that doesn't make it bad.
Out of all the games that you just listed, the one that elicits the most emotional reaction is the God of War. So
yeah,
for me, from here, hearing from players,
yeah,
I think I got to go with that one.
Okay, I think it's probably what's going to win anyway when we get to the Game Awards itself. Best game direction. This is where the last two.
Okay.
Elden Ring. God of War Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. Immortality. And the second verse the same as the first, because we're back to Stray. These 5-6 games got nominated for basically everything.
Yeah, they did, and they honest. It's like Elden Ring has that uh, gothic medieval
Yeah.
feel to it, and they hold it. Every scene I've seen from that holds it.
Let me
You know.
make a case
Mm,
for Elden Ring that it should win
okay.
this. There's a
Okay.
thing they do in Elden Ring when we're talking about creative vision. There's a thing they do in Elden Ring where you're exploring in the opening zone and you can find a tower and the tower's destroyed, but there's a basement to the tower and you can go down to the basement. You go down to the basement, there's a treasure chest down there. If you open that treasure chest, it's actually a mimic, and instead of killing you, it transports you halfway across the world and you find yourself in a cave. And the cave is filled of alien-looking mantises and miners that you can't really do damage to with your weapons at the time. And you run past them all to go outside, and you're met by a lake of rot and poison and a red sky as it just says Kaled on the screen. And you can't teleport home.
Oh no.
And it is when you talk about creative vision, you are stuck there until you find a site of grace to be able to go back home. And it is as soon as I hit that cave, because of course I found that chest. Of course I opened that chest. As soon as I walked out of that cave, I was, this is one of the best games of the year. Like, this moment is so cool. And that's creative vision, right?
All right, let's give it the Elden Ring then. We haven't.
Okay.
I don't think we picked that one yet, actually. So we need to give it one.
And finally, Game of the Year.
Oh.
Nominees are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring,
Okay.
God of
Yeah.
War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Man. Overall, when you say that list for Game of the Year and you give me that run up, I gotta say, sounds like it was a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
games.
there's a bunch of games that didn't get brought up or nominated at all. Stuff like Vampire Survivors, stuff like Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger Paradise, Signalis, stuff like that, that definitely could have taken a spot somewhere in here. But my current game of the year is Elden Ring because I haven't beaten Xenoblade.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't played any of the others.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to have a vote here, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted. I think Elden Ring's gonna make a good show. I think God of War's gonna end up with most of the awards.
Yeah, I think God of War is going to wind up sweeping the show for sure.
Kind of laying into that. Horizon's not standing out to me.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna. Yeah, flip a coin. Elden Ring or God of War.
All right. Flip my Detective Pikachu coin. Elden Ring will be heads.
Okay.
Heads.
Can't tell. Okay. Fair enough.
Don't think it's going to matter in the long run because I think we're going to get overwhelmed with God of War Ragnarok votes, but Elden Ring got it. And that's the nominees. I think there is some people a little upset because God of War Ragnarok came out last week and the deadline was moved back this year so that God of War Ragnarok could come out.
Well, honestly, it shouldn't be done until January anyway, but
I firmly agree with you. And that's why I'm not upset about the deadline being moved around because there shouldn't be a deadline until the end of the year. But Sonic Frontiers didn't get nominated for anything, and that has some other people a little upset. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel after I beat it. Maybe I'll be upset too. But let's throw it over to Rundgren's Corner. We've gone pretty long, but I think it's been a good podcast.
I'll try to run through these. And as always, we're gonna start off with somebody's birthday today, and it was Macho Man Randy Savage's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, sir!
Gosh, he is. For those that know, he's no longer with us, and there's some dark stuff in his story. But for those that grew up with wrestling, it's a big name.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Macho Man Randy Savage. Now I got one I debated for a long time of how I was going to present this story to you, and
Okay.
then I've got another. So I've got another story I'm going to give to you first, and just to be kind of nice, and it's kind of like a little heartwarming story. And then I'm going to go to this one. Okay.
Okay.
The first one's very short. Now, if you remember, we went through a little thing where there was a contagious thing going around not too long ago, uh, and the whole world, kind of had to shut down.
Yeah.
Um, well, in Japan, they had this big tank of eels,
Okay.
and in this zoo and this aquarium. Now, these animals had gotten used to people, and it helped out the scientists a lot because these eels hide down in holes in the bottom of the ocean. They dig holes and they just stay down in there,
Right.
and they got used to people, and so they would just stay out.
Okay.
You want people around, and that would allow the scientists to walk up and see them. Well, when that happened
Right.
and people stopped going, they kind of lost that. The eels weren't desensitized anymore, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Every time the scientists would walk up, they would all go back down in their holes.
Right.
They, they couldn't really study them and the things. So in Japan during all this, they set up tablets around the eel tank and had people FaceTime in.
Oh.
Yes. And this helped the eels calm down. They were used to the people and the chatter again. And they really quickly got back used to coming out of their holes and just hanging out so the scientists could study again.
Yeah.
So for a while during that, there was a lot of people FaceTiming eels.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool story. Now, the other one, I'm just going to see how you react to it, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to go through this whole thing because the tagline, once I tell you what it's about, really quickly, I want to see your reaction. But this comes from Chile, okay? And it's got lots of history in Chile. You know, the country, just lots of things going on down there. But kind of tied in with how am I going to say this? You and I both know there's stories all over the world and superstitions that may not be exactly the same,
Hmm.
but they're still seen as
Right.
like one thing may be seen as a good omen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Chile, a uh, a 15-foot oarfish has washed up on the beach. Now, your brain may go straight to China.
Right.
I mean, excuse me, Japan.
Yeah.
With the oarfish,
Mm-hmm.
and there was about 15 oarfish that came that beached themselves on the land right before uh, a terrible event of a tidal wave and earthquake tidal wave ended up with the nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Uh, Forgive me if I ruin the name. But it's Fukushima
Mm.
was the actual location, right?
Yeah.
So now, while this is at least from my perspective, that is like a Japanese thing, right? The oarfish swimming up, bad omen, sign of that.
Hmm.
Apparently, it's taken very seriously in Chile as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so people are freaking out in Chile when this big oarfish and came up on the thing, and like a lot of people. Now, it's 15 foot long. They can get up bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yes, Fukushima earthquake and tsunami.
Yeah.
That was in 2011. Okay. All right. So yeah, so this is washed up in Chile, and people are like, okay, we're preparing for an earthquake.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Like, not a question about it.
Right.
And look, um, there's reports of this and seismic activity going back years. There's obviously no scientific connection that they've come up with or evidence
Right.
they come up with. Uh,
But
but yeah, people are preparing for an earthquake.
right.
One person going so far to say, "Yeah, we're all gonna die now."
Well.
But they took it very serious. But according to uh, Hiroyuki Motomura,
Right.
he is a professor of ichthyology. He's a fish professor. Kagoshima University. He says he thinks it's gonna be fine,
Okay.
and he is Japanese. So I'm kind of wondering
Right.
who paid him off.
Well, and like when that happened in Fukushima, it was such a weird thing that it had been predated by that, you know? Like at the
Yes.
time when it first happened, it was like almost like a coincidence. And as time has passed, it has like only become more resolute that it happened because of that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring this all in. We've talked about the Euphrates River drying up.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it on here, but we talked about it. Yellowstone is mounding.
Right.
It's Yellowstone caldera has come up about a foot and it's still rising. Which that's a super volcano, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, then we talked about the past couple of years and the and now another oarfish that usually live. And look, if you don't know, don't expect everybody to be ichthyology.
Right.
The oarfish live way, way down in the ocean.
We didn't all go to Kagoshima, okay?
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, they normally live. Where is it?
It's pretty deep. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's pretty deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Now these things can grow up to 56 foot long. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That is stupid huge. There's only 15. Yes, 3,200 feet below. About 700 feet to 3,000 feet is where they normally stay.
So when they come all the way up to the surface, that's a problem.
Yes.
Especially a 15-foot long one. That's a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. So they know something's going on. So if anything happens outside Chile, we'll let you know. And I don't know if this oarfish is thinking it's helping us by warning us, or if it's another tactic by the animals scare us.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see.
We shall have to do so. Before we move on to plugs, we still have to cover the matter of your assignment.
Oh, okay.
I reviewed the footage.
Oh no!
I gotta say,
didn't go well.
Pete is not happy.
Oh, I'm sure they're not. That was horrible.
At one point, you stuck a fish to the camera, and it was staring into my soul.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna run a poll. I don't know that anybody's here to do the poll. We're gonna run a poll. I think that we give you a break from
I'm fish.
From fish-related endeavors, and we will instead give you a different option here.
Okay.
Well, I have two different options selected here.
Okay. So
Run the poll.
Yeah. You got it?
Poll is starting.
Okay. Well, that's going. Do you have any plugs?
I do. I want to plug Jet Lag, the game. It's a channel where they do fun races around the world. Just recently, they completed a series where the whole point was they were in Europe and they had challenges they could do to get more money to spend, but they each had a goal they had to get to, and one of them was the runner and two of them were the chasers. And they played tag, basically.
Oh, nice.
And it was really interesting to see them going around Europe, trying to get to the locations and having to do challenges to get specific stuff done. 2 picks for the one you picked, you and Roxanne. Very good. Very good. Very good.
You looking at it?
I am. I'm seeing which one's gonna win. It looks like.
Okay.
No, it was a really cool series, and I like their stuff. How about you, sir?
Okay. Well, One, I'm cutting out my art rival, Justin Hawkins,
Hmm.
and his channel, Justin Hawkins Right Again. He just can't keep getting away with that. Which look is what he can't get is me watching his videos and enjoying them, and then calling him out in the comments. But that's not the
Yeah.
point. The point is, he says he likes a little bit of rivalry, and I've been trying to build one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good, Waverly.
Okay. Also giving nice little shout out to Louis 7 and Bright Life Gaming, both who do really good Lord of the Rings online content.
I watched one of Louis 7's videos earlier this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy. Louis 7 is just like, don't say anything bad to him. Do not hurt this man's feelings, okay? I'll be upset.
It's a good video.
Yes.
All right. The vote is finished.
Okay.
The winner is. Your assignment is. I got confused with what I was doing for a second there. Your assignment is Gas Station Simulator.
Gas station. Oh no.
Yep.
I've
You're gonna be
worked at
running a gas
before.
station.
I don't want to.
Time to go back to the past.
No. No.
I'm sending you the key right now.
All right. All right. Well, I will simulate a gas station tomorrow. Gas station simulator. Okay. Aye. Aye.
Well, coming up on the channel as usual, we got Runger's assignment tomorrow. We'll be making a rogue in 1D&D and 5e Thursday. And then Friday, we'll be building the Heavy Arms custom Endless Waltz version.
Yes. Yeah.
Back, of course, Monday with more Lotro.
Absolutely.
And then next week with another episode of this podcast that went really long this week, but actually I had a blast with. So we're going to go. Till next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Runger.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. That life